Yeah, so good morning, everybody. We will start our webinar now. So, a very warm welcome to all of you. To begin with, I would like to set the context for today's webinar, Achieving More Together with MS Team and Titans. Well, I can assure you that panelists will certainly share some very interesting insights which would enable you to really implement these effective digital workplace strategies within your organization to create a productive and collaborative enterprise. So I'm quite sure there is so much to look forward to. In today's tough times, CXOs have a very big responsibility in current times, especially since the center of gravity has really shifted towards effective workplace engagement, and that too in a secure and collaborative way. As you all know that collaboration is the engine for growth, especially in tough times, current pandemic times. It is absolutely important to identify collaboration patterns, productivity of the team members, workplace and workforce effectiveness, and most importantly, employee engagement. This is what is on the CXO mind. CXOs and CEOs are continuously thinking about how to derive value out of the workforce, how to analyze the workplace effectiveness, collaboration patterns, etc. And we will learn about it in today's webinar. New collaboration software, of course, all of you know, is gaining more importance due to COVID-19. And this is, of course, more than ever before. Remote working, as you all know, will stay for some more time. And this, of course, owing to the COVID restrictions. And we believe that those companies which embrace and adopt good technologies are the ones which is going to thrive despite the chaos. We live in a vulnerable, complex, uncertain, and ambiguous world. We call it as VUCA world. So in order to navigate successfully, leveraging the power of platforms and power of technology, the companies can either be a winner or not so big, or not the winners. So technology will be the real binding component for work culture and work trends going forward. So collaboration software will gain more importance, as I just now mentioned. A lot of physical interaction that were not time efficient earlier and were really costly will move to the virtual sphere. and therefore the importance of great platforms like Microsoft Teams and Titans. More attention will now be given towards employees' well-being and their safety and health, much more than profitability and other parameters which was there in this aggressive world. So more focus will certainly be there on employee health and well-being, and making sure that they collaborate effectively, securely, while of course the focus and eye on the ball, that is profitability, revenue growth, sustainability, will continue to be a concern area for some more time. We are living in a low growth world today. And in the low growth world, collaboration will take center stage. With more productivity, with more employee effectiveness, and more engagements and a better teamwork is the secret sauce for succeeding and achieving despite all odds. For some companies, work from home has been a revolutionary transformation, while for some other companies, it has been a trying and a tough period. Well, those companies which chose the right technology are really reaping the benefits today. Going forward, we believe that offices will certainly transform into a collaborative and integrative atmosphere that will help employee and its associates to maintain a work-life balance, innovative, and they will work with each other to bind and build a successful culture as well as successful organization. Large companies, corporate SMEs who have adopted to great technologies are really prepared to compete for the future and of course grow their companies securely and successfully. So in tough times, communications and collaborations are really crucial for success. So in order to continue working effectively and creating value under these new circumstances, organizations will have to understand, accept, adopt, and support their employees to ensure that these specific situations and at the time of need they are supported well with great technologies. So collaboration enablement is one such measures. Securely enabling access to data, access to platforms, and enabling effective workplace interaction is the way forward. And to do know more about it, I would now invite our strategic partner, Microsoft, to come and speak and share their insights. So over to you, Ranjit. Thank you.
Before I sort of go ahead, just want to check, Ajit, can you hear me?
Yes, of course, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, thanks. Thanks, Ajit, for that wonderful context setting. I think you've sort of so much pertinent, so much required in times like these. Especially when people are not able to go to office, they have to work remotely. Then how do they, sort of exchange ideas, brainstorm on new things, and how to take the business forward per se. So just to give you a bit of context, I am Ranjit. I am a partner technology strategist with Microsoft, been with Microsoft for more than 6 years now. And I have done a couple of roles, a variety of roles in Microsoft. I was initially the solution professional for modern workplace, looking at Office 365, M365, and enterprise mobility, as some of you would know it. I'm sure some people as CLS technology heads experience some Microsoft technology, and I am hoping the experience would have been great. So I would just present my screen and let me know if you can see it.
Yes, Ranjit, it's visible.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
So I think I'll start with my presentation. I have some 25-40 minutes, but what I plan to do is give you a good context on what Microsoft Teams is. I am sure that you would have a bit of an idea like what Microsoft Team does, as you would have idea on some of the other competing technologies that we have in the workplace, including Zoom or Google Meet or Cisco WebEx. I think every OEM, every partner is trying to come up with its own solution, but I will just try and articulate why Microsoft Teams is the best collaboration solution out there in the market. So just to start off, there's never been a more exciting time to be at the intersection of business and technology, and we are really delighted to show you how Microsoft is uniquely positioned to enable your digital transformation. In many ways, every company today, including yours, right? You're coming from a manufacturing background, from a retail background, from a BFSI background, from a healthcare background, is becoming a software company. And why do I say that? Because you would also understand and you will also accrue to the fact that all the companies today are in dire need of some good softwares to keep their business running, to enable their digital transformation. And they are facing a lot of challenges for that, right? And the challenges are real. Intense industry disruption, having to do more with less, especially in these times, and the need to stay relevant. And you have umpteen examples in the past, including Nokia, Kodak, people who didn't stay with the times. They either became irrelevant, or they were forced to become relevant by competitors in their vertical, right? And for the first time, I think, in what we are seeing in the workplace today, there are five generations, right? And all with different backgrounds. It's Gen X, Gen Y, it's baby boomers, right? And the expectation and collaboration tools that they use are also different. For example, some are comfortable chatting on a phone, other people prefer an email, some people are okay face to face, right? So those are different things that are coming out. And I would just sort of give you a flavor on how Microsoft Teams enable everything on these lines for you, right? Now, moving forward, transforming workplace collaboration is a business imperative. Your competition is moving fast, as I told you, and reducing cycles and increasing the quality of collaboration in your organization can be a major differentiation to drive growth. In fact, so some of the figures that you see on the slide, 86% of the leaders cite that lack of collaboration or communication as a top reason for workplace failures. And the transformation is already happening. So 45% of the leaders have or are implementing web-based collaboration solutions at scale in their companies. While many productivity apps exist for the workplace, what is lacking are the tools to make teams of people, right, more productive together. So you will find apps which are giving you piece based or piecemeal solutions in terms of audio video conferencing, or possibly getting to chat to each other, getting on a call and all those things. But how do you really make a team of people and make them productive together? And in fact, 65% of the leaders today agree that moving from a hierarchical to a team based working is critical for their success, especially in these times, right? In fact, Microsoft itself, there are definitely hierarchies, but then with teams it becomes so much easy for us to approach anyone, right? It doesn't matter whether somebody is a CVP or an EVP or a VP, right? But teams actually open the doors for us to approach anyone at any point of time. So that's the level of collaboration that we're looking at now. Moving forward, I think three things that you see on the slide: chats and collaboration, meetings and callings, app and workflows. So what is Microsoft Teams? Now, Microsoft Teams is actually a hub of teamwork which brings together everything a team needs: chat and threaded conversations, meeting and video conferencing, PSTN calling, content collaboration with Office 365 application, and the ability to create and integrate apps and workflows that your business relies on. And because Microsoft Teams is a part of Office 365, which I'm sure a lot of you folks will be using, right? It comes with an enterprise grade security, compliance, and manageability that our customers expect and value, right? Now, what does that mean for your business? It means the teams can help you transform workplace collaboration. How does it happen? By bringing everything together into a shared workspace where you can chat, meet, create, and make decisions as a team. And since all of your content is organized by a team or project, you are able to stay in the flow of your work, right? It takes average person, what we've seen, 23 minutes to regain productivity after an interruption. And while on emails or while you are really doing focus work, we see a lot of times pinging happening, right, on the mails. So once you lose productivity, it takes you some time to get back to what you're doing. Streamline business processes. You need ready access to business critical data, applications, and be able to execute repeatable processes efficiently. Right now, since Teams is a true platform, don't really think of it as a product. It's a platform where you can plug in more apps and services you already use, and even integrate your existing tailor-made applications into Teams. Like for example, you might be using a Salesforce. Can you bring that into Teams? You might be using some project management software. Can you bring that into Teams? You might be using Office 365 in terms of Planner, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, whatever. Can you bring that into Teams? So all those things, Teams is built of so many connectors, and I'll show you like what the applications are in terms of third party. That it really is, it becomes a platform where all of your components come on a single UI, and you never leave that UI, because everything, every work in your organization gets delivered through that UI, right? Going forward, connecting everyone on a single platform, I think Teams is just as important and effective a tool as a C-level executive as it is for somebody on a factory floor. So whether you are coming from a manufacturing background where you will see frontline workers, or you're coming from an IT background where you would see C-level executives, it makes sense for everyone, right? In a retail shop, in a classroom, in a hospital, in a marketing role, or anything in between. So Teams is something that connects every person in the organization. We have thought about the major unique needs of different types of workers and provide solutions through Teams that are tailor made for them. And Microsoft is the only collaboration solution provider who has dedicated engineering teams, right? I'm repeating again, dedicated engineering teams building functionality specifically for roles across industry. So we have not designed teams to suit to a specific vertical or industry. We have really taken inputs from our bigger accounts, from Fortune 100, Fortune 500 accounts, and then designed this product, right? And finally, it provides enterprise grade security and compliance, right? So I think a lot of talk in terms of what Teams can do, and I'm sure you would have listened to this sort of talk from across OEMs, including Google, including Amazon, including Cisco, including Zoom, everybody. But how do we really translate this talk into what Teams can actually deliver for you, right? So I will just sort of give you a small example in terms of, and a small demo that I have integrated this as part of the PowerPoint presentation itself. Now, any organization, whether you are coming from any vertical, you would understand and you would know three things are very, very critical. One, you will need to run projects inside your organization, right? You will have processes. Now, processes could be a sales process, a leave management process, any process that you talk about, they will be a part of your organization. And the most critical piece, people. People is what make what an organization is, and it is very important to keep people connected, productive, and thriving, right? So I will touch base on each of these three things and talk about how Teams make sense for an organization by making projects simpler, making processes more productive, and bringing together people to make them more collaborative and really be do their best work in an organization, right? Any questions till this point of time before I move forward? Anything? Okay. I'll move forward. So what I'll do is we look at an example, project of product, at a launch event. Now, though these elements are applicable, I think for most of the projects that you will see. So first of all, you will need to pull a team together. This may be the same team you work on a regular basis, or something else. You will need to schedule meetings. You will need to collaborate. You will need to assign task and deadline, and finally access whatever that is. So those are the project things that each of the components comprise of while you are working in a team per se, right? Now, just to give you a small flavor of how each of these components get delivered in a team, right? So I was talking about, pulling together a team. So as you can see, there are different team members in this team. Now, this may be a same team. You can add a team member from outside. It could be a guest. So might be times where you're, working with vendors from outside, working with people externally, right? How do you make sure they become a part of your team? There are also times where you can possibly put on the left hand side in the Mark 8 project team, you see general design. These are the channels. So different peoples will be a part of different channel where they see they belong. So somebody will be a part of GTM, somebody will be a part of research and development, somebody will be a part of launch event, whichever makes sense to them, right? Now, moving forward, sharing pertinent information. Now, you need to make sure that all of your people, all the people in the team are on the same page and sharing pertinent information. So you can, upload documents, and there are so many places you can upload documents: SharePoint, Dropbox, Box, right? In order to make sure that everyone has access to everything. And because our customers work with many different types of content or content viewers or document viewers, teams actually support 320 different file previewers. So you can open and preview content without having the associated app installed. So what you saw on that slide on the demo per se, like Box and Dropbox, you don't have to install that because we have a connector inbuilt. You just need to put in your credentials. We will take everything at the back end and you can bring all your files in, right? Now, assigning task and tracking deadlines, that's crucial for many types of work. So you see a planner. If you have worked on Office 365, I can pick and choose who are the people who are possibly more entrenched, or who are really becoming a bottleneck in my project. Or can I assign projects to different people who are currently free? How do I define deadlines? Which are the tasks that have got completed, which are in progress, and which are to do tasks? I can see everything in the Teams console itself, right? I don't need to move out of the team console. From our scheduled check-in meetings, right, I can see it is critical to have regular meetings, what the team is working on. So sometimes teams are able to meet in physical meeting rooms, or sometimes people need to dial in. Just regardless, the startup process of a meeting should take you just 5 seconds. And I'm hoping when you saw this Teams link, when you joined in, it hardly took you 5 seconds, right? So joining a meeting is as simple as one touch, whether you are joining from your mobile device, your PC, or even from a conference room. So at all points of time, what each of you are working on can just be discussed on this call itself. Now, collaboration on documents. In fact, working on project, you would, working on Word, PowerPoint. Now, if you see here, even the work reader opens inside the Teams console itself. At all the points of time, I can see what my two people, Linda Holloway and Esther Wilkie, are working together, and they can really collaborate, in real time. And that's the power of Teams. Even if guest access is allowed, you can even bring in people like your vendors or your partners to collaborate on documents, share PowerPoint, Excel, PDF, or any images, JPEG, or even your design files. So you can bring in all those files and work on these files in a very live environment itself from the Teams console. So you don't need to leave the Teams console, go out and then start a Word document, invite somebody. It doesn't happen that way, because I have seen that all these people are a part of this team. Whenever I open a document, I will see on the right hand pane that all the people I can see. If somebody is available, I just need to pull him in, take his inputs, and I can let him go. So that's how I'm really collaboratively working on a document at all points in time. And finally, I will have access to all the notes or all the meeting notes that I have. So what I discussed on September 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th, because this is a shared document. So all the people who are a part of this Mark 8 project team will be able to view what is happening in each of the meetings, that maybe somebody missed out a meeting because of some exigency, or somebody was not available, somebody was on leave, and he can see what happened during that meeting. He can just see the notes, talk to somebody, ping somebody, bring somebody on a video call, collaborate on documents together, and be up to date at all points of time. With me till this point of time, any questions from a project perspective? I think I gave you a fair bit of an idea. Like, if you are working on a project, how do you make a team? How do you pull your team together? How do you share information, whether from one document, SharePoint, Dropbox, Box, other 320 file previewers you're working with? How do you assign task and deadlines? How do you make sure people are always on their toes on different tasks? How do you see which activities are completed, which are in progress? How do you schedule check-in meetings, working on documents together, and finally making sure that everybody is on the same page from a project perspective? Make sense? Any questions? I know it's a bit overwhelming because of the fact there's so much functionality in Teams, but I really want to sort of give you an idea like what Teams can do for you. And that's why I have simplified this in just 3 tasks. I don't want you to take back saying that I know everything what a Teams does, but even if you can take those 3 things, that it can help you, on your projects, it can help you simplify processes, and it can really empower your workforce. I think those are the 3 things I would really want you to take back and compare it while you are thinking of buying something for your organization from a collaboration perspective, right? So if there are no questions, I'll possibly move forward. I will show you a process example per se. Now, what you see here is actually a process. It's a sales cycle, and I'm sure that most of the organizations you would see some sort of a sales cycle. So if you see here, in the first case, the field sellers submit a customer request. The team then drafts the bid for a customer. They need to submit that bid for a manager approval. That approved bid is a combined then with proposal that the team is working on to specifically address this customer needs. And finally, the proposal is shared with the customer, and hopefully, you get the PO and the sales team closes the deal. Now let's see all these steps that I just talked about. How does team supports all the elements in this process, right? And again, it will be a very simplified interface. You never leave the team per se. Now, moving forward, in this example, there's our sales teams that's on site with a potential customer, gathering requirements and ultimately submitting a request. Since they are doing this in real time at a construction site, right? Our salesperson is using a tablet. His or her organization possibly, if you see here, so Lynn Robbins, who is actually working on this, he tells he's collaborating with somebody else and telling him that, hey, do you think this looks great or not? Because he's pitching this to a customer and he wants to take this to a customer. Again, he get feedback. If you can change something on the slide, on this slide, right? He changes it and then he submits this customer order. Once you go to teams, right, you see there is a sort of a crm integrated where he can put in what the order name is, what is the product that he wants to pitch in, then any review if he wants to sort of send it to his manager, and finally send this with a message. Can we offer a discount if they order more than whatever 10,000 units? So if the customer order more than 10,000 units, can I order can I sort of give a discount to the customer? Now, once you do this, right, how do you create a sales opportunity in a CRM? So we have integrated Dynamics 365 here. If you go to Dynamics, right, you will see this opportunity in Adventure Works. What are the parts and pricing, right? Which pricing I was talking about? What's the team scorecard? In team scorecard, you see here there's a Power BI integrated. And in August, I can see that I have already completed my quota. So I can possibly give discounts if the number is more than 10,000 K, right? So Lynn Robbins, again, the customer accounts is actually checking if Lynn Robbins, who's the manager here, to Alan, De Jong, if we can sort of give that discount. Now, finally submitting this approval for this proposal for approval, you see which are so the manager see which are the bids that are really completed, right? He looks at how Adventure Work looks, he opens it and finally approves it. So this gets approved. If you see on the sign off status, right? And finally, because there is a flow, a platform, or I would say a process flow integrated at the back end, he just approves the request that gotten from an account manager saying that yes, we can give the discount and great work and go and sell this to your customer, right? What the account managers then do, he meets the customer on the teams itself, because the customer doesn't need to have a teams license. He can just join in from a link, just as you most of you are joining just from a link, and he closes the deal on the phone itself, right? On while meeting, not a physical in-person meet, but really a virtual meet, especially in times like this, right? So end to end, I would say completion from a sales cycle. You integrate a CRM system into this. You integrate an ERP system into this. You integrate a process flow into this. You can make sure that whatever approvals are required, they are being sent on Teams, and the approval notifications are again being sent back to account managers. You close the deal on Teams. So end to end process in terms of a sales cycle gets closed on Teams. Simplified, I don't know. I mean, that's for you to sort of check. I know it looks something out from a sci-fi movie saying like 2050 we are in really future in the future, because everything is done through mobile. But I think what it shows you is the power of Teams, what you can really achieve on Teams, which was people were just thinking that there are so many tools, so many softwares which are integrated, which are not integrated, which are in silos. And at all the points of time, you had to remember, okay, I sought an approval for this to my manager. I am tracking my opportunity sizes in a CRM. I want to see which products do I really pitch to my customer, and how do I close a deal. I have to go out, meet the customer in person. In this example, you saw you didn't move out from the pane or from the UI of Teams. And that's the power, right? Everything, including getting customer discounts, making sure you close the deal, making sure you pitch the customers rightly, making sure you have Dynamics or Salesforce or any other ERP solution or CRM solution integrated into the Teams. That's right away. That's the power. Make sense? Any questions from a sales cycle perspective? Is it making sense, or do you think it's too much of what am I presenting? Any feedback would help before I move forward. Okay, seems like a very quiet.
There are no questions. Yeah, you can move forward.
Yeah, seems like a very quiet audience,
Yeah.
but anyways, I'll move forward. So from an cultural transformation, people, I told you, were the backbone. People are really what form the core of an organization. So it is very important that we really drive our cultural transformations or any industry's cultural transformation through people, right? And that's what teams thrives to do. So if you see, we want to make sure that the conversation become inclusive in a sense. What if I am having conversation with people and in languages I don't understand, right? What if I am speaking in a language and I'm really having a video call and I don't know what the other side is saying? What if there are different accents and I don't know, right? If there are certain things that I'm missing because the person accents I'm not able to sort of get in touch. How do I make the team more engaging? How do I make sure that I recognize the right people at the right time, making sure that I motivate them? How do I make sure that I meet with remote teams that are not just in India but actually spread worldwide? Or even if you're in India but you are at different plants, at different I would say places, how do you make sure that everybody comes together? So that's what will drive your cultural transformation from a team's perspective. So what you see here, an inclusive conversation. So it's critical to maintain a culture of openness, transparency, and inclusivity with your teams to promote a collaborative environment and ultimately people's best work. So you see, I have just, somebody has just started a conversation saying that we will need to celebrate Joey's 5th year anniversary. Any thoughts? So somebody is replying, what happens, what can we do? And then because they don't have an idea on what happens in go karting, they invite somebody who is an expert. And you can include chat history or not include. So if you include the chat history, the person who is coming after will be able to see all the chats behind this and will be able to relate what happened and why am I being invited into this chat, right? So that's an inclusive conversation. You help somebody know that why you are being invited. Now if you see this example, right, if I go down, if I see everything, it's in English, but if I go down, somebody in the team is writing or is discussing something in the other language which I don't know. If I go down, Deborah Berger, right, I don't know what this language is, but I can really translate this language, right? So if I see this is the meaning of this, what she's saying. So if you have people who work in different languages like in Hindi, in Tamil or in English, and they really can't collaborate, right, because of language barriers, this is what teams does for you. And this is really making it inclusive because now language is no more a barrier. It all depends on whichever language you are comfortable with, you go ahead and collaborate. And today I think we support more than 50 languages to date, and that list is getting much more with every day passing by, right? Going to a team engagement perspective now, how do I make a more engaging conversation? So somebody has joined a team. I want to make sure that the people who are currently in my team get to know that who is that person. So I don't need to send a separate mail out there. I can just be in a Teams console and I can tell, okay, I will design a header of this line, this type. I can say welcome to the team Adele, right? And you see how beautiful this looks rather than somebody joining on an email and sending a very boring email per se. You send this on the Teams console itself and everybody can view it in the team. Now if you want to really praise somebody, you can select a badge and tell, okay, Nestor or somebody, you closed a pretty good sale deal and kudos to you for sort of doing that. And once you do that, people can really see that your manager is really appreciating somebody. They can like it, they can really take or have a conversation with Nestor saying what did you do, what are some of the learnings and all those things. A lot of times while you're working on emails and in your day-to-day environments, all these things get lost away, because even if it's a big sales deal, a manager will just send an email to that person without people sharing intelligence, people sharing know-how what they did. But this is a great platform for somebody to come together, and that's how you engage a team. That's how you keep a team motivated, always on their toes, because if somebody is performing, Now, in case if you don't, if you have want to have a town hall, and that town hall want to accommodate something like 15,000, 20,000 participants just on a one-to-one basis, right? You can do that. Now, somebody is speaking in Chinese here and I don't understand. I can translate this on the go. So what she is saying, it's dynamically translated for me. So this is very useful for organizations which are, particularly MNCs which are working across boundaries. So maybe a German organization where a German CEO wants to address everybody during these COVID times, all the people in India as well. And he's comfortable speaking in German while I don't know it, right? Because I'm an Indian, right? But I can translate what is he speaking in German to English on the fly itself, right? I don't really need to view everything and that put all the translations into a different software and see what did he speak. What is he speaking? I can just translate that on the fly and get that town hall going. So that's how you're getting it more inclusive, becoming people from across the world, really transcending language barriers and coming together. And finally, meeting with global teams. I think some of these things you would already know. I can really get onto a video call and I can see there are so many custom backgrounds at the back end. I can see I can really change or put my background where it's not visible. If somebody is speaking a different accent, you see all the subtitles coming below, so I can know what exactly are they speaking if I really miss a couple of points, right? So you can bring in people from different I would say geographies and bring them together on a single pane. You can record this conversation, view this, including the subtitles per se. So you are seeing this as part of a recorded conversation on Teams, right? And you can even filter out words. Like for example, I want to check where was our project discussed. So you just type that word in the search box, and it takes you to that video portion. So you don't have to search the entire video recording per se. So that's how you're making it more and more productive, right? While you're thinking about global teams. Now, moving forward, I think gives you a fair idea in terms of how we really make projects, processes, and people more simplified and more empowered in times like this, right? And I'm sure that every organization will have these three things to the core. I can't imagine an organization that works without projects, that works without processes, and that works without people, right? So if you really focus on these three things, teams will make it easy. Teams will solve this for you, right? Now, giving you some examples on why you should think just about Microsoft Teams. A lot of stuff that I spoke, you will find this in bits and pieces in different OEMs with different partners. But I think Teams is a platform where everything comes together, and it's for every worker. You saw how do I collaborate it especially while a CEO wants to address a town hall, or a first line worker who can't write or type in English, really type in Hindi, and his Hindi being comprehended or translated to different languages for other people, right? Even going beyond that, we just don't stop at the software. You will find a lot of Teams devices with intelligent meeting solution that have video and content share. So what you see on the picture on the left hand side, a video device that's integrated with Microsoft Teams, right? Both a device where people are joining in, and then a projector screen or a TV screen where the Teams presentation is being shared. So not just limiting to a software, but even to a lot of devices that are being supported. And these are certified devices either for different sizes, different spaces, and working style. Again, from a lot of people today are thinking, are these supporting compliances? Yes, we do. Every Office 365 compliance, including HIPAA, MIDI certified, GDPR, China's or ISO 27001, 27018, all those compliance regulations is applied on Teams as well. And I was talking about more than 50 languages we support. We today support 53 languages. This list is again getting, greater and greater with each passing day. So you will see a lot of more languages getting supported from a translation perspective or from a subtitle perspective as you go forward, right? Finally, just giving you some numbers on the momentum that we are seeing on Teams, and these numbers are very authorized numbers coming from IDC, where we see although these are up to dated numbers. So what you see, a 20 million daily active users today, that number has gone till 90 million. So because of COVID, we have seen a lot of traction, especially in Western Europe and in US. While we still face a challenge from Zoom, in India, but that is not to say that we are not picking up. I think in the last 3 odd months, our team's usage has grown by more than 3x, and that's on a substantial base. The base is not less. So I can tell you that as we move forward, you will find more and more organizations adopting teams rather than some piecemeal solution that are there in the market, right? And we can even give you flyers and give you information on why we are better than a Zoom or a Google Meet, right? Not just from a compliance standpoint, but even from the features, the number of features that we support, and really the simplified interface and everything, how it comes together, right? In fact, just to talk you about, 91 of the Fortune 100 companies today use Teams, and that's a big win for us, because if Fortune 100 companies really trust us with their platform, with so many users, from a scalability perspective, from a compliance perspective, from a security perspective, I think we are on the right track, right? And finally, I think what we hear from our customer, these are some of the customer testimonies that I have, including, you know, GE, Comscope. So you can find a lot of testimonies if you just go out there and Bing it or Google it, whatever it's comfortable. But you will find a lot of customers supporting, come in support for Teams, right? And as I talked about, Teams is not just built for somebody like a CEO or for a first line. You will find use cases for each and every person in the organization, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales, whether it's HR, engineering, education, healthcare, you name it. We can find a use case for you. We can tell you how it really simplifies some of the processes and procedures inside your organization, how really it adds value through some of the demos that I showed, how you can really, and the deployment per se. If you are on Office 365, Teams is free for you, right? What more? Zoom will cost you, Google Meet will cost you. But if you are on Office 365, and I'm sure that a lot of you will be using Exchange Online or Excel or Word and PowerPoint. And in case if you have that, Teams is free. All you need to do is engage Progressive and deploy those teams for you, right? That's what it is. So with that, I think I have been able to give you a fair idea on what Teams does. And hopefully you did find value in the power of Teams, and we will really see you using Teams inside your organization as we go forward. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being such a patient audience.
Yeah, thank you, Ranjit. There are two questions here in the chat box.
Okay.
Maybe we'll answer it at the end of the session, or maybe we can answer it right away.
I think we can answer it right away, Ajit, because I have a hard stop at 12 and I really don't want to sort of go beyond 12. So we can answer it if it's okay with you.
Yeah, it's okay. So there are two questions. You can answer that. So one of the question is how many users can connect on Teams using same Teams account, and second question is 60 participants and all have video. I can see how many participants at the same time at a time.
Okay, sure. So with a single account, because it's a team, it's a user-based license. So one Teams license, only one participant or one person will be able to join. But why does that stop you, right? Because Teams is free. If you really think about it, if you are on Office 365, you just have to deploy it. As I was talking about, engage Progressive in your accounts and just ask them to deploy this for you, right? It becomes totally free. If you are not on Office 365, then yes, it will be you will have to buy Office 365, and Office 365 is a user-based license. That's one of the things for you to remember. Now, talking about from a video participation perspective, currently we support 49 participants at the same time. So if I can just show you one more thing on, I'm just sharing my screen again. Just give me a sec. So you will see a gallery view and a large gallery view. Right now, what you're seeing is a gallery view because nobody is on video. You will see 9 participants. But if more and more people start using video, it will move from a gallery view to a large gallery view, right? And 49 participants at a single time, it can support on this pane of the screen that you see. So that's what it is. If in fact, we also support what we call as a together mode. Now, this is something you will not find in any of these participants. So if people are using video, right, let's assume it was a webinar and everybody of you was on video. I could have done this in sort of a together mode where everybody seems to be in a classroom sort of thing. I can't show you right now because no video is on, but this is how the scope is. So you will find each of these persons sitting on the chairs, and as if you are addressing an audience, right? As if you are really doing a webinar. So those are some of the capabilities that comes with Teams. But I'm sure that as you move forward and as you discover more and more capabilities, you will find a lot of value while you use Teams. Does that answer?
Yeah, Ranjit. So I think we'll take one more question and then we'll move to the next one. The question is, where do you see Microsoft Teams compared to other similar tools, especially when user has low internet bandwidth?
I think it's so I don't know. So Kumar Pawan, right, Pawan? So just to let you know, I was on Skype for Business, and Microsoft has been using Skype for Business for quite some time, but we have totally gone on Teams, and I can tell you from my personal experience. In at places, especially like when I am traveling near the airport, right, the signal really drops down. But I haven't really felt Teams dropping per se, or something like I can't hear you, or team, sort of things on all those lines. So I can tell you from my personal experiences, even though if it's a low internet bandwidth, you will be here to at least do an audio call without any interference, right? But I will still ask you to go out there, experience it for yourself, because it's totally free. If even if you're a guest, see how it works for you inside your organization on a 2G network, and you will see that power on your device itself.
Yeah. So thank you, Ranjit. Whatever questions are there, we will compile a list of that, and then maybe we can individually answer each one of them to all the participants. So thank you,
Sure,
Ranjit.
Ranjit.
We'll now move to the next presentation. So thank you, Ranjit, for a wonderful insights. And I'm quite sure that all the participants have really got excellent insights on the power of the platform and power of Teams. And thank you so much once again. Thanks for joining. So
Thanks,
over
Ranjit.
to Ashish Komotra. Ashish is the Chief Executive Officer of Adapt India. He is the creator of the product Titans. It's a brilliant product. It's a SaaS-based platform. So over to you, Ashish, for your part of the presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Ajit, for the introduction, and thank you, Ranjit, for a very impressive introduction to Teams. You have shared, in fact, a lot of use cases with all the participants, and you have put forward a very important point that the Teams is not a communication tool merely. It's much more than a communication tool, and it's more of a collaboration suite, which includes everything right from communication to business processes to building more apps on top of Teams. So I will take this conversation forward in that area. As you have correctly mentioned that in one of your slide, you said that there is a Teams is all about people, process, and projects. So I think that was one of the most important slide that you have shared actually. And I would like to now introduce our product Titan, that is basically in line with what you have shown as an extension to Teams. So just a moment, let me share my screen. All right. So I hope you guys are able to see my screen. So Titan is all about adding more power to Microsoft Teams. So what it does is that it simplifies a lot of important collaborative functions within Microsoft SharePoint and brings everything as an app within Microsoft Teams. All right. So before I actually go into a little bit more into use cases for this, I would like to share a small 2 minutes video with everyone. Let me just show it the video. Did you guys see the video? Ajit, everything okay? Can you see my screen for the video?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
Our day starts with Microsoft Teams. What if Teams get more power to boost our productivity? Introducing Titan. Titan, a digital workplace that enhances employee productivity by bringing the best of Microsoft 365 and SharePoint within Microsoft Teams. Titan simplifies your Microsoft 365 user experience by activating important features. A knowledge base to access right information. intelligently transforms Active Directory into Employee Directory and Organizations chart. Simplified way of managing tasks and tracking their progress. Titan rapidly rolls out the document management function and enhances adoption by simplifying document control and sharing. A simple and intuitive project management system for everyone. Share your stories and experiences. More engaging workforce. Permissions and setup through a user-friendly admin panel. Faster flow of information combined with the power of multiple tools on a single platform. Digitally transform your company to the next level of collaboration with Titan.
Yes, so that was the very brief introduction about our product Titan. So what Titan does is, as you saw, there are 4 distinct benefits to Microsoft 365 users when they have Titan as an app within Microsoft Teams. So the first thing is that it brings a whole lot of simplified features like document management system within Teams now, right? As you know, SharePoint has got a lot of fantastic features to manage your documents, or you're sharing your documents, creating different sites. So what Titan does is Titan simplifies the whole user experience and brings that to every user in a simple way. Second, Titan also gives you a ready-made intranet, which is instantly deployable on Teams and helps you to have more, lot of information like blogs and things like that you can write, and information like announcements and stuff. As you saw that how Teams is able to manage some project systems as well. So Titan simplifies that user experience. So basically Titan's philosophy is that whatever Microsoft offers within Teams or SharePoint or Office 365, we bring that in a more simplified way. So rather we are complementing M365 and Teams, and wherever Titan has been deployed, the adoption for all these collaborative stuff has jumped significantly in a couple of weeks, right? Also, Titan is helping our customers to have more engaging workforce as we are now moving more towards, working from home or hybrid kind of an environment, in terms of workplaces. So our workplaces are not, truly defined. So therefore, we have added a lot of those features which will help companies to keep their employees more engaged when they are not coming to physical office. And all these kind of stories I would like to share with you very quickly today. So just to sum it up in terms of the high level modules that we offer within Teams, one is a complete intranet, then complete document management system, project management system, and a very easy to use task manager, which brings tasks from various different modules within Teams and Microsoft SharePoint and Office 365 and combines them into single console. And also Titan is designed to bring more your social connect within your Microsoft Teams, right? For example, integration of Yammer, integration of your Facebook and Twitter and other social media accounts onto your homepage. So Titan works as an app within Microsoft Teams. If you look at this, the baseline is Teams, which has power of adding more apps to it. You can build more workflows on top of Teams, as Ranjit already described, and you can build more and more third-party applications and take the power of Teams to the next level. So Titan has the same vision, and we as a vendor are now trying to make sure that every Teams user has got a more easy interface to look at in terms of collaborative stuff, and it's very easy to roll out in any enterprise. Our Titan is more in terms of engaging the workforce. I'll share you that how Titan can bring more vibrancy into your intranet. You can actually write blogs, articles. Titan allows you to build a complete knowledge base within Microsoft Teams. So if you have distributed or field engineers, so if they want to access certain data sheets or certain maintenance manuals, you can create that knowledge base department wise or topic wise, and then they can download or access that information 24/7. Titan is also helping companies to employees to share their experiences. Now, as we are sitting and working from home, mainly we are missing out on all those personal conversations. So we have brought that touch within the Titan, where you can write your blog, travel experiences. You can write some review about your books. You can publish your home recipes and so on and so forth. A lot of leisure and fun can be talked about and shared. Titan also has got a feature where you can actually run very easy to run employee surveys. That means now when we are sitting remotely, it's all the more important for HR and other departmental heads to actually gauge the opinion of employees. So Titan actually allows you to run those surveys, create those surveys, and you can see the instant results on your intranet very quickly. Recognition is again a very big one, in terms of keeping the morale high of the employees. So Titan offers the complete functionality of recognizing people that, staff, employee of the month or team of the month or the product of the year or best department of the year, or any category you can define, and you can do that, right? So company wide, when you have so much going on in your enterprise, all the content, which is audio and video content, is stored within Titan and displayed onto your Teams as under the media gallery. So all of the things which are making you more engaging with your enterprise, that's the power of Titan, which is offering to everyone. Our mission is to simplify Office 365 as an app. So what we guarantee to our customers is much higher return on investments when they have Office 365 subscriptions. So typically customers would spend a lot of money in terms of customizing SharePoint features and building these intranets. So Titan comes as a ready-made app, and there's no upfront cost. It runs like a software as a service within Microsoft Teams and helps you to get more value out of your existing Office 365 subscriptions. All right, so let me show you a little bit now, very high level, that how, since we don't have much of a time, but I'll show you now. You are able to see my screen within the Teams now. So while I'm presenting you my webinar at the moment, so I am actually entering into my Titan within Teams as an app. And now this Titan, you will be able to see that a lot of information. I'm pulling up all the information from my other sources within your Microsoft 365 account, and actually I'm bringing them onto this slide. So I have news. I can read blogs written by my other co-workers. I can publish my own blogs here. All my company-wide events are here. Then I can run, as I said, I can run surveys and participate in the surveys. All my social media accounts are already integrated onto Titan within Teams. So this is my Yammer. So I can actually see my real-time Yammer feeds here. Then again, my company social media account, I can participate in that social media account right within Teams, or I can actually write my reviews on my LinkedIn posts of the company and all that. So this is just a very high level stuff that how Teams can actually, can be extended to the power of collaboration. On the right side, if you look at it, this is what we call as a user experience. It's a timeline concept. Everything which is happening in the company is coming as some post here. I can actually filter these posts. For example, if I'm more interested to see the experiences of my coworker, so I can actually go and filter the content of my experience. So now I can see that, okay, my coworker has put a book review or gadget review, or they have written their own biographies, or they have put some home recipes or their travel experience and stuff like that. So, or I can see all the announcements of my company, right? I can filter the announcements. I can see all these announcements. These are very, very intuitive stuff that can engage your distributed workforce and get, get them more collaborative power, Very quickly, I'll show you that the concept of how document management system within Microsoft Teams has been extended by Titan. So now within Teams, I'm entering into my document management space. So, okay, this is my document management space. So I have my documents which are synced with my local document through OneDrive. I can put metadata tags on it. I can search them. I can share them with just one click. These are all fantastic features. And the good thing, it does not look like a very complex SharePoint at any point of a time, and rolling out these functionalities very, very quick. I have my departmental document space and where I can actually have only the particular people within that department can access that space. Then every time people share anything with me in terms of content and document, I don't have to go to my Outlook and actually go and filter that content and try to find out, the relevant stuff or the more latest stuff. So I can go and find everything forever, which is lying under share with me console within that. Then I can actually Titan now also helps our users to customize or bring their own custom sites within Teams. So this is one of my document site. And if I have created more document sites within Teams or within SharePoint, I can actually go and configure every single site here and bring them as a site together. And then as we saw that how project management is relevant, and I can actually pick up any project and bring the project documents all within the single interface, right? Titan also has a project management module which simplifies your entire project management approach. Right from creating a project team to having all the documents in one location. So this is my project dashboard within Teams. I can actually enter into one particular project and I can see all the documents, team members, tasks within the same project. It's a very simple way of using it. Our vision for project management is not to work with the very complex project management tools so that everybody can actually use it. Right? So this is I am into my project management system. My all project documents are here. My all project tasks are here and their progress I can track very easily. I can actually see my team members from here. OK, all the team members. I can add more team members right from here. So it's a lot of intuitive functionality within that. More than that, I can actually pull out my employee directory very quickly, which converts your Active Directory and employee profiles within M365 automatically into a complete employee directory of your organization, right? And I can filter them with location. I can filter them with their initials and all. I can actually go and build organization chart on the real-time basis within Microsoft Teams. I bring all that information from your Active Directory and, I can actually, so these are all the charts I can see. I can go and filter them department wise and all that. So not taking much more of a time. I think we've crossed 12 o'clock deadline. So I would just like to conclude that, Titan is a very, very intuitive application that simplifies Office 365 experience. In case you have more queries about Titan or you want to see the full demo of the product, which would take about 30 to 40 minutes. So maybe you can tell Progressive and we can actually schedule one-on-one demos with all your companies. So any question at the moment you have, I'll be glad to answer that. In case I can see anything on the chat screen, let me go and check. So otherwise, Ajit, you can come in and
yeah, thank you, Ashish. Appreciate your presentation. It was truly enriching and insightful. So there are some queries on chat. You may like to address that. For example, one question is, do we need to design web page? Is it integrated with SAP? This is the second question. And you can have a look at it and answer it one by one.
Right. OK, so you don't have to design any web pages. It comes with the predefined templates. You just have to pick that. You can actually change your branding, theme and everything by yourself through a very user-friendly administrative panel. So there are no SharePoint skills, no technical skills needed to manage Titan within Microsoft Teams. All right, so that I hope that answers my query. And the second is it integrated with SAP? No, OK. Titan offers through my Microsoft SharePoint. There are connectors available with SAP. We can use those connectors and bring the data which is needed from SAP. So technically, yes, we can integrate Titan with SAP. Yes.
All right. Is there any more questions? You can use the chat for asking. Otherwise, we can conclude our session in the next minute or so. If anybody has any questions specific to Titans, the collaborative platform for simplifying Office 365, which helps in adoption of O365, M365. So any more questions? Otherwise, we can conclude our session. More questions if you have, feel free to get in touch with Progressive Infotech. We will be happy to facilitate a demonstration and address all your queries. So we look forward to working with your company, and we believe that Progressive Infotech along with our partners can create superior value for your organization and elevate your services experience while providing digital customer experience platform. And our endeavor is always to provide cost effective and world-class services as always. Thank you very much once again. We truly appreciate your time. Thank you. We can conclude the session. Thank you very much.